the times that Roy would actually go to.
And there were boos in the house during the first fight from Cox.
They come at the twilight of his career, and he has been relatively inactive the last couple of years. As we mentioned, he's been having trouble.
Referee O'Connor is saying, are you all right? And then, are you sure you're all right? And Connors has called it. It is all over.
He did before he finally went down because his head was snapping back. That's usually the sign that you have no more control, and down you go. And he did.
That was inside the time. Bell did not save Tony Thornton, and he should be questioned. Two huge hooks to the body, and another one flush on the jaw.
He's yelling at him.
Thornton against the ropes, and all kinds of trouble here. Jones, electrifying hand speed as he puts the finishing touches on. Perhaps here is Ron Lee. Thornton with no defense. Perry looking at it very closely. He's covering up. He has that Ken Norton cross-arm style, and Perry's going to wave it off. He says,
Right now, his punches are way too wide, Roy Jones. He's got to get down to pinpoint punch, and he's gotten sloppy.
Questionable stoppage, and we'll take another look at what happened, starting before the knockdown.
Had to be a strange feeling for Sosa, but again, Jones just outmaneuvers him.
Sosa not throwing back, in trouble as Ken Zimmer stops the fight.
At 174, Tarver right on the limit at 175. Antonio, naturally the bigger man, has gone up to 187 overnight. Roy Jones at 180. CompuBox numbers.
You don't have to have it, so make sure you have it. All right, you guys give instructions from the dressing room. Do you have any questions?
I got a question. You got any excuses tonight, Roy?
Let's not ask questions like that. Let's go to work. Let's go to work.
Antonio Tarver wants to correct the scoring again.
They don't want to wait for the bell. Emmanuel, you seen that before?
I love it. No, I've never saw it, but I would like to see it more often.
Never seen it. I got a question. You got any excuses tonight, Roy? What a stuff.
Oh, he's very, very confident.
You see a punch.
Yeah, both of these guys.
Remember that what made the first fight
Until the time that Roy would actually go to the rope. But a lot of the first fight was this place.
And there were boos in the house during the first fight from time to time. And already Jones is much.
keep the fight right in the middle of the ring where he has an advantage.
Straight right hand upstairs, straight right hand to the body. The straight right hand won the fight for Jones in November.
At all, particularly early in the fight. If it does, it'll be late on.
Well, if he has the stamina to stay on his feet and move, he'll do it.
Now they're fighting in the center of the ring, and his hand speed and foot speed is being a problem for Tarver to deal with.
Because at this weight, there's never been hand speed and foot speed like Roy Jones. Whoa! Tarver hadn't gotten off really, and Jones is landing his right hand. So even though much of the first round was a phony war, posing and staring and looking, Jones has scored enough.
He's scored enough to win the round, possibly, but he hasn't really been able to penetrate or find a style yet that can penetrate through Tarver effectively.
Tarver lands a right hand.
Good right jab.
And another in the ropes to listen to whatever it was Gaynor had to say.
So evidently he has a lot of respect for Gaynor. It's interesting, Murchison has been with Roy throughout his entire career, and that's really rare today. It means about going on those 16 years almost.
Well, Roy Jones has been very loyal to people who work for him and to his friends.
He's a good man, and he's helped a lot of boxers down there in his town. And in addition, he's one of the few guys that continually contributes a lot to helping Joe McClellan.
He's been the chief benefactor to McClellan, who has been in distress ever since his 1995 fight with Nigel Benn. Of course, McClellan and Jones were rivals in the amateurs. and might have fought each other as professionals.
Yeah, you know what? It's still interesting that even though he knew that he may fight Gerald, when Gerald would fight a lot of fights, he would actually come to the fights early in Gerald's career and support and even worked in the corner with him one time.
Now in round two, very much the same kind of action that you saw toward the end of round one. Tarver stalking now more aggressively, more concertedly, and seemingly accepting the role of the leader in the counterpuncher's war. And there's a hard left hand by Antonio Tarver. Jones tries to come back with a right to the body and a right upstairs and another right to the middle of the belly.
You know, it's interesting. I'm watching Tarver. He seems to still be giving Roy problems. Roy has not found a way still to get a sustained attack against him.
What excuses do you have tonight, Roy? No excuses.
And now there's a fight breaking out in the ring. There's a fight between supporters in the ring, and our cameraman, Gordy Sager's gone down.
Jim,
the action
that is the first time in his career he's really been hurt. He's gone down before one time, but there was a perfect left hand. Roy never saw it coming. Roy is out, and Roy may be out of boxing.
And that's why Tarver wanted to be the counterpuncher, because he answered Roy's right hand with a perfect left hand shot that knocked Jones out. There it was. One previous knockdown against Lou DeVal, that was a flash in Madison Square Garden in New York. This is the first time Roy Jones has been hammered by a power punch, and it's cost him a fight.
In 2 fights now, we have to say that Tarver has bested Roy Jones.
Unquestionably. There's the answer. You know, Jones.
We didn't think we'd see that in this lifetime. Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to thank Don King, the greatest promoter in the world, for believing in this fight and for believing in me. All right, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, Antonio. Congratulations. One word, Don. Is Antonio Tarver a candidate to fight for one of the heavyweight titles that you promote?
Yes, he is. He's a candidate for anything. Tonight he did a super thing. He beat Superman. He certainly showed that he's a great, great fighter. This was a shock and amazement of the world, as Muhammad Ali would say. And we're just delighted that Antonio Tarver came in and made this fight what it can be. It was a great cash out all the way through. And all of my heavyweight champions are ready to fight anybody. Vitaly Klitschko is the top of the list for Layman Brewster, for John Ruiz, or for Chris Bird. And now we got a new one in there with this young man here who just shocked the world tonight on HBO pay-per-view. There's Tarver, Antonio Tarver.
Thank you very much, Don. Jim?
Here's one of the great elements of this story. Ever since Olympic coaches soured on Antonio Tarver in Atlanta in 1996, he has been subjected to a backroom, behind-the-back insidious campaign during which he has received the worst insult that can ever be hurled at an athlete. Over and over and over, all of us in the sport have heard people say, Antonio Tarver has no heart. It's such a rubric that it was almost a given, an article of faith. Well, they'll never be able to say it again. No one should ever utter, after what he did 6 months ago, after what he did tonight, that Antonio Tarver has no heart. That is disproven forever. Here's another fighter with heart. Let's see how he responds to his worst moment. Larry Merchant with Roy Jones.
Thank you, Jim. Roy, there's a first time for everything.
Yeah, you know how that goes there, and there's no excuses on my part. I come out, I do what I do. You know, I've had an illustrious career. I've enjoyed what I've done. You know, and guys always are up to fight Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. has a hard time getting up to fight guys, you know what I mean? Because it's really nobody out there that Roy...
Can't be touched, can't be stopped, can't be moved, can't be rocked, can't Boxers, obey my commands, protect yourself at all times. The cup is a little bit high. All this is good. This is all good scoring ball, okay? All right, let's touch gloves. Have a good, clean fight. Let's go.
Rahman is a big, strong kid with potential, a work in progress. Moskayev will show us how much progress he has made.
Rahman also has a lot of natural talent.
Both of these guys may look to you like plotters, but both are quick and athletic. But off the first 8 rounds against Tua and the brilliance of his performance there, you might not ask him to change a thing.
He was very smart that night.
Sticking his jab in Rahman's face. Rahman not able to get off to that side. Rahman trying to pound with the right hand. Misses over the top. Now whacks Moskayev with a left hook. Moskayev missing wildly with his own left.
Both of these guys are throwing some pretty big punches, but I don't think either one of them has really been known for his one-punch knockout power. To be very physically strong guys. And they both have to have good chins to have gone 11 rounds and 9 rounds with David Tua. Good jab by Moskayev.
For a war of wills.
Moskayev is remembering to go to the body a little bit more, I think, than Rahman. But you're right.
Should be able to get there first, it appears. Moskayev blasts him out of there with a left to end the exchange.
Good right hand by Rahman.
Would have gone to sleep tonight. Left hook lands inside for Moskayev. Momentarily stopping.
Rahman's doing a real good job of defending Moskayev's right hand, too.
Moskayev thinks he has Rahman hurt a little bit from the right hand he landed, and he's coming in
for an exciting moment.
Rahman lands his right hand. Moskayev wants to trade rights with Rahman. He's willing to take Rahman's right for the end in his structure quite that quickly. Left hook lands from
the right hand. He noticed that Rahman was getting relaxed after the right hand.
Moskayev, Jackson would like to have taken him away to a traditional training camp in the Poconos, but Moskayev said, no, I have to be with my family in New York, and Jackson said, that's okay. He's a throwback in a lot of ways. They trade right hands, and Rahman backs Moskayev up.
Moskayev has started to land that jab a little bit, but so is Rahman now. They lured him into a slugfest, which is not the best thing for Rahman, I don't think.
No, he should be boxing.
Although I think he just...
Rahman landed 62, and Moskayev landed 65.
How closer can you get?
You can't get any closer than that. Harold, how do you have it scored?
Jim, I got it close. 29-28, 2 rounds to 1. 2-1 for Moskayev.
So it's close. And Harold and Larry are 1 point apart on their cards, and he would be more exciting, and certainly he has been. And he takes a right-hand flunk from Moskayev for his trouble.
Yeah, he's been much more exciting, but he's also been hit with much more bigger,
frequently in the first 4 rounds here.
And the problem with that is that if Tua could have landed that big punch early in the fight, would that have been a problem?
You know,
wide apart because he could get good leverage like that.
Right hand lands for Moscav. Rockman now landing his left hook. In the last round, Moscav began feinting with the right hand and dipping his shoulder and firing the left hook to the body.
Hand down the middle by Moscav.
Moscav starting to show stamina. He's holding to a higher level of energy more consistently than Rockman.
Somebody's mouthpiece is laying on the canvas.
I think it's Moscav. Yeah, it's Moscav.
There. Now Rock trying to come back with a late round comeback. Lands his own right hand. Rockman bearing down on Oleg Moscav. Both fighters have had their moments. Blood flowing from the left ear now of Moscav.
I think he just cut Rockman.
Oh. Coming from Moscav's right ear.
Left ear.
Left ear. No, yes, left
and
ear.
I'm not sure why there's so much blood coming out of the left ear.
Is that dangerous, Roy? I mean, we don't see that very often.
Oh, solid right hand from Moscav.
Drawn, but I don't think it's too dangerous.
If it's a bust.
Moscav is mostly head hunting now.
He's relentless. Moscav lands a right. Rock took it very well.
They traded rights, actually.
Now Rockman backing Moscav up with a flurry of punches. Moscav in trouble. Rockman trying to land one big right. Rockman going to the body. Well done.
Him. He gets in better shots, and I think that's what's winning him the fight, the clear shots.
I have the fight even.
I think maybe they're equally strong, but Rock is quicker,
that
ultimately should win him the fight.
That's the one advantage that he has. That should win the fight.
Goes without saying.
And he didn't also tell him to go to Rockman's body.
I've seen Rockman fighting a complete fight. If a slightly more dangerous choice than you might have expected him to make.
I think Moscav and Rockman is tired is actually unfair to Moscav. Takes that heck of a punch. Moscav had a left hook, anything like Jefferson had in his last fight, he could make this fight very interesting.
If there were more fighters with left hooks like that, then...
I tell you, Rockman is using his left jab to nullify Moscav's straight right hand very good tonight. Every time he sees that straight right hand coming, just sticks the jab out, and the right hand never hardly lands flush.
Moscav lands the left hook. Rockman has been landing at a high rate for the last couple rounds, both the body and the head. Right hand by Moscav, and now Rockman lost it. Rockman almost lost his leg there for a second. He gained him. Lands again. Rockman with the hook. Trade at once, and Rockman's legs are still wobbling.
Half the round still to go.
Still doesn't have his legs.
the shot.
Yes, that fight was done right there. I hate to say it, but that fight was done.
He already survived about a minute of the round with no legs.
Yeah, that's right. That's why you know that punch right there was it. And that's what I mean when I was telling Larry about taking chances. That really was a chance that he should not have taken.
Đến đây, TRIDINGO xin chân thành cảm ơn sự ủng hộ của đại gia đình trong thời gian vừa qua. Kính mong đại gia đình tiếp tục đăng ký, xem và chia sẻ video với bạn bè. TRIDINGO xin kính chúc đại gia đình một ngày bình an. Cảm ơn.